Hi Taurus, welcome to your full moon in Pisces reading for August 31st, 2023. Full moons close out cycles, and I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm trying to I brought an oracle card, and it's called the Healing Light. This one is particularly for you, and hopefully it will kind of narrow down, because they're general readings, what the reading is about, and give it a little bit of focus. It seems to me like maybe there is some kind of change coming up that may seem miraculous. The Healing Light is maybe you were feeling unwell. There can be something in your situation that needs to find some healing, be it a relationship or physical, mental, emotional well-being, maybe even a work situation that needs some healing. But the healing light is what you get. And it's also the number 8. And the number 8 is a very empowering, it's power. And the energy of 8 is power. So there's a lot of energy behind this. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a guideline. We'll use that along with your own personal. So this is kind of the situation, but this is your theme. This is a situation theme, and this is your own personal theme. And you have the Temperance card. So Temperance, for me, well, I'll read it for you. You get a yes answer with this particular card. Balance, moderation, caution, divine timing. For me, the Temperance, it's associated with Sagittarius, and for me, it can really be about a temper, right? Your emotional state. We're in a state of flux with the Temperance card. Nothing is quite settled just yet, and that can leave us feeling a little bit off. Not being in the place that we want to be, sort of situation. And so patience is necessary. It is balance and it is moderation, definitely. But we're refining something, and that's where the balance comes in. There's this feeling of refining a situation, and that can even be our own health or whatever it is that's being healed at the time. But there is divine timing where this is concerned. And for me, it's also very much a card of spiritualizing what it is that you are doing, right? You're making it sacred. You're making it have impact and mean something. It's not just a emotion that you go through. You want it to mean something. We're turning lead or base metals into gold. And that doesn't happen overnight. There's a refinement going on an internal level. But you do have to be patient with it and mind your temper. Sagittarius is a very fiery energy. It is fire, right? But it's the Page of Wands. And so there's still a very youthful energy to it. It's not very mature. And so Temperance has things very much in a state of flux. But, and that's where I think the healing light comes in, because this is change. All of a sudden, something changes. It's like a miracle. Okay, wow. All right, so what's closing out for you? You have the Magician card here. Nice. It is skill, right? It's mastering a skill. It's mastery. It's your concept, your vision for what it is that you want to manifest. You're calling down from your higher self, from your thoughts, right? And you're manifesting it onto the physical, onto the earth. And you have a set of tools that you can use and work with. But there is mastery here. Now, if we're looking at one of the tools, at this point, it can be, because we're looking at fire, right? It can be your passions. It's something you're very passionate about, something that gets you up and out of bed kind of energy. The Eight of Cups. It seems like we are walking away from something that once brought us a lot of pleasure, and something or someone, and we're doing it with the idea that we can do better, we can strive harder, we can reach for something greater. And it may have been something that was really like brought us a lot of pleasure, or something that we really enjoyed. And now it's kind of time to move on from that. Two eights, a lot of energy behind moving on. And this can be with a heavy heart, but still we know that we're moving upwards here. I think our concepts are changing with the Magician. We want a new level of skill, a new level of experience here. And it can be emotional to walk away from something that was tried and true, or that we really enjoyed, or someone that we really loved. You're behaving like a Three of Cups. That's really nice. That's very celebratory. It's gratitude. It's the joy of life and the things that we love and the people that we share that gratitude and joy with. This can be celebrations of sorts, but it is really just enjoying the good things in life. And I think nobody does that better than Taurus. They like the rich foods, the best champagne, the nicest things, right? Very tactile. They like a beautiful home, the finer things. But this can be people and maybe women in your situation. These are the muses that inspire us. But it is through the good things in life. It's through the joy of life, the joie de vivre. And so with that, you have the Two of Pentacles. Well, for the good things in life, you have to have some cash. So you can be moving finances from one situation to another. You may have to help out some females in your life, or some friends, or you're putting out money for celebrations, that kind of thing. But this is weighing options, right? The Two of Pentacles is about weighing our options. And this is very reminiscent of the Temperance card for me, because the Temperance card is he's holding two cups and he's moving the liquid between both cups, right? Alchemy. And so we're kind of having the same sort of motion, one or the other, or one through the other. It's a very interesting dynamic. The Two of Pentacles, though, and I'm sure you're doing this, is moving through their challenges with a light heart. In fact, you're doing it quite playfully and with a lot of good friends and good people. But there may be a choice that you have to make. And that can be work or pleasure, you know, because the Three of Cups is absolutely pleasure. There might be some things that are pleasurable to you that you may have to make a decision about, or that you're kind of moving money from one situation to another, or your bank accounts, or IRAs, that kind of thing. Finances, definitely. All right. And the outcome, you have the Nine of Swords. So timing is important here. This can be overthinking situations. So here we're having a pretty good time. And then we might find later that either we've exhausted our efforts, our finances, and now we're kind of worried about it. This was very disjointed to me, so this can be a lot of different things and not one particular situation, but a lot of things kind of going on at the same time, because it feels very disjointed to me. Okay, we have the Empress card. Maybe it'll all come together here. The Empress card for me is very much the Mother card, the female, the quintessential female. It's nature, it's nurture, it's Venus, the planet Venus. So it's creative. There can be some worry over a female that you're having, or that a female in your life might be having, because we do have female here twice. So there might be an important female. And we are worried about him, but the healing light says that there's going to be something that comes along that can really change the situation, especially if they're unwell. But the Nine of Swords is somebody who really is overthinking things. It's a thought that gets away from you. It starts to have a life of its own. But it feels to me like there's a female in your midst that may be having some difficulty. And you might be worried about it, or they could be very worried about it. The Nine of Swords asks you to calm your mind so that you can see the answers. One of the best ways to do that is to be in nature, to go out into nature, to ground, right? To go for long hikes, to be in nature, to put your feet in the stream, in the water. It's kind of like when everything is kind of topsy-turvy, right? We look out and, the grass is still growing, the trees are still growing, the wind is still winding. Nature's doing its thing. And it kind of gives us a little bit of comfort when we see that still the outside world is alive and kicking. And this can also be somebody who is possibly pregnant, but may have to be bedridden. Or you can be in the last stages of pregnancy and have to stay in bed, or that sort of thing. Yeah, we have the Father card here, so we have the pair. We have the father and the mother. This is the authority here. This is definitely somebody who would be mastering a skill, or have mastered the skill. We might be leaving a situation to become an authority. These are interesting together, the Magician and the Emperor. For some reason I want to get another one on that. There is knowledge here because the snake belt is calling my attention. And snake for me is wisdom, but it's also like shedding our skin and becoming new again. This is really taking your mastery, your skill, and grounding it, giving it foundation. Nice. So that's 1, 2, is that an 8? 3 8s. That's a lot of power. This is communication, so you could have some very good communication skills, but it's also goes very nicely with the Magician card because it is the Law of Attraction card for me, the 8 of Wands. So this is the card of what you think about, you bring about. Both of them are manifesting. And whatever it is, it's solidifying something very nicely for you. You could be an authority, or there can be a male around who is an authority. And these are things moving very swiftly. Again, 2 8s here. A lot of power, a lot of energy behind this move. Both of these cards are movement. This one's a little bit with a heavier heart, right? This is a little more emotional. But this is our passion that's pushing us forward. Nice. Very foundational energy with the Emperor. This is my Aries card, and these are people who can make rules for the good of everyone or rule with an iron fist. So, people in charge, authority. Interesting with what's going on at this moment too in the outer world. But this feels more personal to you, Taurus. It doesn't feel like it's in the outer world. Not really. Yes, 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 yes. Here's your miracle, right? The healing light. These are actions that we take that are triumphant and secure. And this is really good for you because the whatever it is that you're juggling with, your attitude is really good. The Two of Pentacles is kind of like, yeah, an emotional roller coaster a little bit, but we get a handle on it with the Ace of Swords. This is my yes card, but it is triumph and security, and it's the truth. Truth comes out. Truth shall set you free. Whatever it is you're working on with that Temperance card, whatever it is you're refining, right? Looks like you really have a nice handle on it. There can be some information that gives you the right action that comes in. This is winter timing, so that's coming up. It's not too far away. So this can be the Temperance, right? We're in a state of flux right now. Maybe things start to solidify, or you have your yes answer in the winter time. But this is seeing things very, very clearly and taking the right action once we do. Maybe some of your creative projects are on hold, right? The things that we're trying to finish up with that Temperance card, refining, can be on hold. And this might give you a moment to worry or think that it won't happen. But again, I am getting the yes card, so I think it'll work out well for you. The Eight of Swords is feeling like your hands are tied. Just another 8, right? So that's 4 eights. But this is putting a lot of power and energy behind a struggle. And the problem with that is that the more you struggle, the more you kind of get stuck in the mud here, in the mire. And so this card is telling you to relax and wait until, interesting, and wait until things turn in your favor. Now, Venus is still in retrograde. The Empress card is Venus for me, and so it can be that once Venus goes direct, that things start to go forward again. You have a handle on it, and that is the 3rd of September. And so maybe after the 3rd of September, things start to go more in your direction, or they start to turn in your favor with that Eight of Swords. And in the meantime, try not to struggle with it. It's not that far away. But of course, there's a progression with Venus, so it can start to go direct on the 3rd, and then things progress possibly from there for you. But at the moment, things may not be in your hands, but you get this kind of information that really, it gives you a yes answer, so it gives you that clarity. That for me feels like the healing light, right? And because of this here, someone could feel unwell and might need some healing as well. Certainly a mental one. I do get some sort of nervous exhaustion. Again, overthinking it, but I can feel it in my shoulders and my neck. So that for me is like tension, nervous tension. The thing is, your attitude and what you're doing seems quite fun and positive. So there can be some really fun aspects to the next 2 weeks, and some that are a bit worrying. And for some, it might be parental, because this is mother, father. And whether you're the parents or your parents are involved, that's also possible here. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is somebody very practical. They're very concentrated, and it's usually on finances, health, work, but that's where their concentration is. And they can take very practical steps to dealing with that. Let's see, on here it says providing as a positive, as a negative, it's self-preservation. Caregiving, practicality, pretentious, and entitled. It's an earth sign, right? It's an earth energy, the Queen of Pentacles, and so are you. So you probably know this energy very well. And there does feel to me with that Two of Pentacles, right, the idea of providing for family. And because you have the mother and father here sandwiched, you might be the child, right? You might be the one who is asking for help or money. Maybe you spent too much on something that gave you a lot of pleasure. Maybe it was a party or some sort of celebration. Maybe like Burning Man, or things that are going on like that, some festivity. And now you're kind of like, all right, I need to make up this money somehow. That feels very specific to me for one person or a couple, but doesn't feel like the whole thing. In any case, the Queen of Pentacles is probably somebody who can either give you some very practical advice or provide for you. And this can be a parent, a mother who's very worried. But the father seems to, right, this Emperor card seems to have things a little bit more under control. Interesting. And again, it feels very disjointed. I can't say that I feel like I can move through this whole thing. So there may be a few things going on other than the parents on either side. I find that interesting. But we are closing out a cycle here with that Eight of Cups, of moving on to something that I think we prefer. Right? We're moving on from something that was a lot of fun at one time. But we're moving on in order to master something else and ground it and give it foundation. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. I'll return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. I really appreciate you listening, and thanks. See you in a couple. Take care.